Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the True Neutrals Podcast, Episode 4. I'm your host, Josh, but I will not be talking into the air this episode. There are other hosts joining me. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
I'm returning from Episode 2. I'm Pryce.
Oh, I'm returning too.
Welcome back,
Domo.
everyone. Glad to have you here.
Glad to be here. Where are the refreshments?
We don't have them right now. I think that Tyler took them whenever he left.
Well, I'm gonna have to
He just
talk to
started
him.
grabbing them
Potentially
by
get him
fistfuls
arrested.
and stuffing them into his pockets.
Bro, you saw that?
But they're my refreshments. I bought them.
So,
I saw it. I wouldn't make that up. I wouldn't accuse him of something
That
he didn't
greedy
do. So
bastard.
I'm 100% confident in saying that he stuffed like biscuits and cookies and ice cream and pizza and like
Just
just
pizza in
basically
the
we had this whole
fridge?
table
What?
of refreshments and he just
Did he take the lemonade?
yeah, he poured the entire pitcher down his shirt.
oh, that greedy
I'm gonna beat him
bastard.
up next time I see him.
But, anyways, we're on... Did you guys saw the new Breath of the Wild trailer that released today, right?
I did. It came out today.
I think everyone.
Today being
Yeah,
the
well,
26th.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
a new trailer that came out today, which I thought
Yeah,
looked
at the
really
time
good
this
so
is
far.
recording, it's the 26th.
I
And
think it looks really cool. I have not been excited for a Nintendo game's narrative in a while. And I think one where we know
Yeah.
that they lose at the end, I think the way that's told is going to be interesting, especially because it's with the Zelda team.
I'm just happy that Impa's in.
They can do a lot with the concept. I think everyone likes.
Yeah, young Impa
Impa
looks
so
really
far.
neat right now.
Everyone I've talked to like. I like how she looks like Paya, and I like Paya, so I'm kind of excited for
true.
her. But I think with them losing at the end, it creates like an interesting narrative of what they can do, because they're not confined by like what do we do for the ending. They know it already.
You
and I think
can't
they can plan
spoil
out a
it,
better
you know?
story.
I mean, like, no one can spoil it or leak it on Nintendo because we all know how it ends. Everyone dies.
Yeah, we already know how it ends. That the end of the game is the premise for
Right,
Breath
yeah.
of the Wild. We talked about this earlier outside of the podcast, but I think the voice acting sounded way better than what
Oh,
was
yeah,
in Breath of the
absolutely.
Wild.
The voice cast being different, kind of.
I feel like Mifa got a new voice actor.
See, I think Daruk got the most distinct new voice. He sounded way different.
Really? I thought he sounded similar. And now I haven't watched any Breath of the Wild cutscenes recently, but I thought Daruk sounded similar to
He
what I
sounds
remembered.
more
at least.
gritty in Breath of the Wild, in my opinion.
Yeah, his voice is a lot less gravelly. It's a lot higher.
I mean, I do like
If-
it. In what's the name of the? I'm blanking out on the name of the game. Like the new one coming out.
Age of Calamity.
It's
Destruction?
Age of Calamity.
Age of Calamity. I was close, but I like his voice there. I thought it sounded
Yeah,
really good, and I thought it fit him.
it's really good. I think the voice actors have really been practicing because the voice acting in Breath of the Wild was kind of to be desired.
Yeah, because Breath of the Wild, it's split up, so it's not like a big RPG where like you constantly hear the voice. It's like in small bits. that you
Right,
kind of
right.
forget,
So it's
at least
very
I
easy
did.
to either make or break it.
Yeah, for
Mhm.
like so for Mifa, like re-listening over the one scene when she's healing Link, she sounds like really dead. Like she has like no emotion, but because like it was such a small scene,
Yeah,
I
it,
really
sound,
didn't
it sounds like
remember
someone
it.
doing a
Mifa
caricature
sounded.
of a
Right,
girl.
right, yeah.
Like
Someone trying to sound like a girl.
someone trying to sound
Right.
feminine as much as possible.
Yeah. So, but in Breath of the Wild, because they were small scenes that weren't like
Mm-hmm.
frequent, I kind of forgot. But I think in this game, they had to turn up the vocal talent because it wasn't small scenes. You're gonna be hearing them most of the game.
Speaking of, if you link your Breath of the Wild save data, you'll get a wooden sword and shield for Link. So that's pretty
And
sick.
if you buy the digital pre-order, you get a spoon.
a comically large spoon, bro.
The
The lucky ladle.
spoon.
You get the comically large spoon.
I can't believe we have the legendary
It beats the
ladle.
game
The
40
master ladle. The ladle to seal the darkness.
It just
The dark soup.
it one hit KOs every enemy and gives you like plus 100 drops.
That's the soup
Did you-
spoon
okay.
buff.
So for the Japanese game show event or whatever it's called, they showed off the gameplay for it, and I believe you can actually collect items from what I remember. I could be wrong. Like in Age of Calamity, you can pick up items. I think.
I think you could do that. I don't know. I played the older Hyrule Warriors. I got really into it on the Wii U.
So I don't play any the only Dynasty Warrior game that I've played was the Fire Emblem one. Forgetting the name.
Oh yeah.
And I know in that one you couldn't really pick up anything. I don't know about Hyrule Warriors, which I know this
Hyrule
is like a big
Warriors
departure
was more
from,
like
at
auto
least in,
pickup. Like if
tone.
you smashed a bunch of like a
Yeah.
pot with a bunch of rupees, it would just auto pick up itself.
Because it is a dynasty game, so it kind of, if there was a lot of absurd
Yeah,
numbers behind everything, you could kill 30 enemies in one attack. You could
You're gonna be running around
pick up 200 rupees.
whacking
Yeah.
stuff.
That's the fun of. I think that's the fun of Dynasty Warriors is that it's just a big.
It really
power
is.
fantasy.
It's the 1 versus
I'm-
1,000 cathartic gameplay that you've been wanting.
Yeah.
I am one big guy that kills 1,000 other
That's some
guys.
5th grade fantasy stuff right there.
It's like the whole idea of like a one man or one person
For every
army.
note in your head
it's
about,
in the game.
beating up Devin, who stole your Pikachu.
Right.
Do it 1,000 times over.
And dude.
Every map, every single mission, you get to do it 1,000 times over. Who would not love it? I'm just wondering, because I know they're in the confines of the Breath of the Wild canon, so they can't do a bunch of usually crazy stuff.
I'm really,
Usually crazy.
Usually crazy.
I'm really
'Cause I know for-
interested to see how the
No, I said
the
that 'cause,
business
like-
practices of the Breath of the Wild thing, because I know that because now we're getting 3 Breath of the Wild. We're getting like a continuous storyline, you know. So I think it's gonna be like the Wild trilogy like they might bundle it into the new Nintendo Switch. Yeah.
Oh, then like a
So
collection.
it's like a special edition for their new Nintendo Switch or something like that.
Honestly, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I
That'd
feel like
actually
that would work
really
a
well.
lot.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm more hyped for Breath of the Wild 2 than I am.
Yeah,
for this game.
Breath of the Wild 2, it played better on the imagination, and it.
Well, of course. I mean, like, this is not going to be a replacement for Breath of the Wild 2. I think this is just meant to hold people
Right.
over.
These rabid fans, they have to throw something at them.
Please
to
give
get
it's like the goat leg in Jurassic Park. Like, we just have to give them something, or they're gonna eat us.
They're gonna break down the
Yeah.
walls of Nintendo
They're going
HQ.
to tweet at us on Twitter. We're gonna go bankrupt.
Nintendo is. I mean,
Gonna lose
Nintendo
all
has
our
just
money.
constantly been trying to like consistently make a Zelda game every year. So like, I mean, pumping one out wouldn't. It's not unexpected.
I wouldn't say not every year. I'd say every few
couple of
years, but not
years.
every year.
Well, I mean,
because the usual
Yeah.
development cycle for a Zelda game is 6 or
I
7
mean,
years.
in 2019 we
so-
got Link's Awakening. 2018 we got
Mhm.
I don't even remember.
I don't think we got anything in 2018. No, we
Did
didn't
we?
get anything in 2018. It was, I think, Breath of the Wild, Link's Awakening, and now
I gotcha. Okay.
Age of Calamity. But I know for like at least for a lot of mainline Zeldas, there's definitely a big gap
Right. Yeah.
between all
You
of them.
can.
Because the
Well,
last
it is
mainline.
true that there was only 3 years since Breath of the Wild. I think it's going to be a Majora's Mask-esque situation where they already have a lot of assets that they can kind of just upend and then make some new ones.
Yeah. Usually.
And a new story,
Well,
and they can finish it in 3 or 4
Usually
years.
the development cycle is like 5 years. So I mean, if they have the
Yeah.
same assets, it's definitely going to be probably cut in half.
It'll be shorter.
Well, that's why Age of Calamity is probably coming out so soon because they already have everything they're using.
Right.
It's not like they have to create anything new.
Yeah.
Like I know it's a totally different engine from what Breath of the Wild ran on, but they have all the character models. They have like the cell shading stuff. They
Yeah,
have
and you can
all the
clearly
Divine
tell
Beasts.
like Nintendo's they're hand animating those cutscenes, you know. Like they're working very close with these guys to make sure that they get this
Nintendo
right.
doesn't exactly do low effort.
Right, yeah.
For most
Well, I
things,
mean-
they don't do
Most
low effort.
things.
They can be this very like this dividing line of like these heartwarming game designers and corporate businessmen. There's like it's almost polarizing to see that shift because like
Yeah.
Mario 3D All-Stars that came out, you know, it's having a limited run and that's pretty scummy.
It's pretty blatantly anti-consumer, and there even
Yeah.
when you get it,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of like goodies and bells and whistles, which kind of disappointed me
Right.
because usually collections like that
Even-
have little extra stuff, but it didn't really.
So I plan to get the game not because I want to support that practice, but other than emulation, which I don't want to do at the moment, I have no other way to play those games. So I kind of want to get it, but I know it only comes with like the games and the
Yeah.
soundtracks of the games.
I got it, and I've
Which-
been happy with the purchase so far, just because I have not even touched 64 or Sunshine yet. I've just been playing Mario Galaxy.
Oh, I've talked about this. Everyone's gonna hate me. Like everyone that watches this, I have not touched any of the games on the collection. no 64,
Well,
no
here's your
Sunshine,
opportunity.
no
Yeah, there's your.
Galaxy.
It's golden opportunity.
Oh no, that's why I don't want to buy it, even though I don't want to support that practice, because that encourages. Because the reason they're doing that is because it's limited time. Buy it now. We want the money
I don't.
now.
It's a weird window of time because it's just long enough that everyone who wants it is gonna have it. So I don't know why you even bother to make it limited if it's gonna be all the way up until March.
I mean, I have
I
a
think-
I have a theory that they might like release it as a separate like window. You know, like they might just release Galaxy on their own.
Oh, like another
No,
limited time.
Did they do this with other like
Oh.
Nintendo anniversary things like Kirby or the older Mario anniversaries?
No, I mean the Kirby. I think the Kirby package was good.
Well, was
wasn't
that like limited run?
it? No. I think it was like 25th anniversary Kirby game was not limited run.
Okay.
I believe it was. I mean, I would say I'm a Kirby fan, but I'm not like super into it. But I believe it was just you can purchase.
I've only
it
ever
I
played
mean,
a couple of
time.
Kirby games.
To
I
be
don't know.
fair, it isn't the first time that like we've had a limited run for an anniversary thing. Like Four Swords. I think it was like it was Four Swords on the DS, and it's long since been removed from the eShop. You know.
Oh yeah, it had like a
Yeah,
4-day
and-
run if I remember. I watched
But,
a
I mean,
video
at
on
least
it. I
it
forgot
had
what it was.
that had the
But it was
benefit
like a
of
4-day
being
run.
free, you know. And
Mhm.
like, this is a whole
Yeah.
full price. I mean, to be
That's
fair
one
though,
thing-
you get
sorry,
you
what were
get
you
3 games with it, and like 3 really good games on top of that.
They're excellent. They're
Yeah.
all excellent. Yeah.
Well, I wanted to bring that up because you said price. People have been complaining, so I didn't get this. Everyone said, "Oh, we want the 3D Mario collection with all the games," and then once people got the games, they're like, "Oh, we're paying $60
Yeah.
for this."
I think it's because the leak and the expectation was that they were going to be at least remastered, if not remade, and they were just
Price
ported.
tags set expectations.
I honestly-
period. Like, it. Like
I expected this. I expected a $60 game.
They're all. I
Well,
think
like, what I
if
mean
you've
is, like-
never played them before, you will definitely get like a $60 mileage out of the collection.
No, but what I meant is like I expected this to be a $60 game no matter what. That's just what game prices
Well,
are.
often like re-releases or like collections are usually $40 or $50, and I think charging 60 implies that there's going to be something different, and there wasn't. And they
Guess
they
that's-
changed Mario 64. You can no longer BLJ. I don't remember what the name of the version is.
Backwards long jump.
No, it's the
Oh, you
the
mean the
version. I think it was the PAL version for the N64 release, and they removed So Long Gay Bowser and replaced it.
They did do that.
I
It's
cannot
just
believe
bye-bye.
It's just bye-bye now. I understand why they did it, but I don't
I
like
mean,
it.
like, to be fair, like, the first time I heard it before I even knew it was a meme, I didn't even register it as that because, you know, he's supposed to have that accent.
I watched a Game Explain video, and it's confirmed it's supposed to be like Solonga King of Bowser, like with the
Oh,
whole
yeah, I
Italian
get
A
that.
thing. So like Solonga King of Bowser, but it sounds like Solonga Bowser. I feel like that would make it sell more though. Like
I feel like,
for some, like,
it
people
could
be like,
just
"Oh, that's
be that, but they don't have to admit that it is.
yeah, or like at least or like, maybe just clean up the audio or something. Like I don't know.
Just play
You
the
don't
can't
need to get rid
prove
of it.
that he's not saying So Long Gay Bowser.
Look at
Can't disprove,
Can't
it
disprove
either.
it either.
look at Luigi's Mansion. They don't speak a word of dialogue in that.
EGAD just makes
Yeah,
noise.
they just make noise. So I think it's Italian.
He's
I
speaking
still need to
Italian
play-
in that part. If you don't like it, you're racist.
Oh, you don't like Italians? Get out.
Yo, these guys
Leave.
speak in
He said, "So long, Gay
italics.
Bowser." He's speaking italics.
Italians, whenever like they write, it's just in italics because they can't hold it
Yeah.
in. If they try to write in regular font, their body just crumbles slowly.
I mean, I'm curious to know what it sounds like speaking in bold. To be honest,
Honestly,
That wouldn't that just be like
I mean,
yelling?
I feel like you'd have some mic peak like, "This is speaking in bold." You know?
Yeah, I could see that. Or it could be like an echo.
Oh, maybe.
Like a,
Okay,
just
okay.
feel like it would be like an echo or something.
What is
Italics
speaking
would be like an
in
accent.
underline?
speaking in underline is clapping the whole time you're talking.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like sarcasm.
Yeah.
I am speaking in
Yeah, it
underline.
catches attention.
It could- I thought speaking underline could also be like a really like strict statement, like you do not want to do this. That would be,
Young
like, that
Impa
would be, like, an
revealed
speak
underline.
as
highlighted
playable
text.
character.
How do you speak highlighted text?
I don't know.
You're
How do
laughing.
you speak highlighted text? That's got me
That's
stumped.
what vocoded sounds like. It's speaking highlighter.
You gotta be laughing.
Oh, that's true.
How do you speak wingdings?
Yeah.
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 Sure. It's technically a lexicon. It's not a good one.
Yeah, but if someone comes up to me and says, I'm gonna
Well, that's
punch
the
them.
thing. Is like maybe that means something. Maybe you just punch them and they're just speaking their native tongue because that's technically.
They're trying
a
to say like,
lexicon.
hi.
But you could not have hated
They're
it
trying
more.
to say like, hi, it's nice to meet you. What's your name? And you just never. you
Yeah,
just
they're just
punch
trying
them.
to introduce
You just
themselves
sock
and you
'em.
just sock them in the mouth.
Oh, but you could also talk in like saying the word. Like I think Wingdings has like a skull. I think it's like what does it have like a bomb or
Yeah,
something?
it has a bunch of symbols. It's like hieroglyphics.
So is it like?
So do you just say the thing? Like do you just like skull bomb?
I feel like
Yeah.
a mime would speak that. You
Yeah.
know, like if he's forced to, if they're forced to like not use their body, they have to just say, skull, bone, breath. You know, stuff like that.
Or maybe that's like in a language,
If-
that's the language that you use to interpret aliens, where they're just like gargle. Yeah.
Yeah, like show them like similar things. I feel like if a mime was held at gunpoint, they had to speak. What do they say?
I would.
Like you said
I
they,
would just
you said they
start
say
foaming at
Wingdings,
the
but
mouth
like
if asked to speak wingdings.
if that, you know what I think about when I say speak
What's
Wingdings?
that?
Have you guys played the Super Mario I think it's Superstar
No.
Saga? It was like one of the first Mario RPGs, not like Mario RPG, but like the ones made like I think it was at Superstar.
I have
Company?
never played that.
It was the first one, and in the game, they these bean people like curse Peach's voice, so whenever she talks in symbols, and they fall down,
Bro.
and, like, become bombs. And whenever I hear like speaking in Wingding, that's all I can think about is like Peach talking, and her voice is like symbols that fall
Talk
into
about
bombs.
weaponizing your words. That's what speaking wingdings is.
Word,
You talk, and then like it comes
words
out in
will never
bold, and you
hurt me.
hit it with it.
BS.
I can speak wingdings. It'll literally combust.
You look at a person say like a Wingdings word, and they just like
Imagine if real
explode.
life had speech bubbles like that. Like they would pop up over your head,
I feel like
and everyone like
Maybe they.
in lip reading would be a thing of the past, and you can just read the subtitles from miles away.
Well, who's to say that doesn't happen? We
That's
just
true.
can't see
Who's
it.
to say that we are just not the? Who's to say that you are the one who can't see it? And I'm
I
just
feel like
lying?
if the world were to speak in
Yeah,
like
like-
speech bubbles, everyone like our voice lines would sound like Crazy Dave from Plants vs Zombies.
yes,
You know, like bu-bu-bu-bu-bu-bu-bu-bu-bu.
Can we do that? We never actually talk anymore. We have like a whiteboard with
That's
us at
not-
all times
dude,
to
I
write
want
our
to make
thoughts,
it,
and then we read it
a
out.
conlang for Crazy.
We should
Dave.
have
and it'll be something similar to
We-
Wingdings, and it'll just sound
we
like
should
him.
have like an entire podcast episode where it has to be subtitled.
Yes.
April Fool's idea.
Yeah, well, we just do that the whole time, and then we overlay it with subtitles. So you have to actively pay attention to it the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, just completely undermines
no more
the
chilling
entire
on the
purpose of the
podcast.
show. Like, you have to actively look at the
It's
screen.
only for those
In order
hardcore
to
fans.
engage, you have to be watching it now.
Yeah,
It's
the
for the hardcore
truest
fans that really
will
care.
continue to watch. Those of you who never really meant it will just unsubscribe.
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of, like when you're on like social media and it's like ignore for Satan, like
Yes.
for Jesus. It's like that, but it's just
That's
with our
awesome.
fans. Ignore if you're not a true fan. You really gotta read.
You have to
be a
read the
true,
screen
true
if you
neutral
want
fan.
to. If you're really a true fan.
Fake fans, everyone, all of you.
Fake fans. We should. What if like YouTube put on a system where to subscribe to somebody you had to like answer
Yes,
personal questions
you had to
for
do
the
it. You had to
person?
pass a quiz with at least an 80% to subscribe.
Or inversely,
When was
you
this
have
person
to pass
born?
the quiz to unsubscribe. Like, ooh, you never
Or
won.
better yet, for small channels, the channel has to pass a quiz about them to let them subscribe.
Can I just own YouTube? We could just
Yeah, I
make
feel
some
like
great
we
ideas
make
with
some
this.
good
Honestly,
YouTube stuff.
the way they're running the site, our ideas are way better.
I'm gonna create a new YouTube, but it's the same exact thing except that happens. And they could like
We'll
personalize
call
their
it
test questions too.
NewTube.
Yeah.
YouTube, I like that idea.
YouTube's.
YouTubes. Wait,
No, YouTube's with an S.
No, can we
isn't that like a? Isn't that
Can
like
we
a
have YouTube,
plushie
but it's
line or
like-
something?
Probably.
It is a plushie line.
I did
I know
not.
what you're talking about.
I did know that. I called that.
Our YouTube name is gonna be like YouTube translated into Greek, then to Latin, then to like Italian, and then back to English. And that's gonna be the name.
Your
Your tuber.
Your tuber, but we have to pronounce it like every word has to be pronounced with like a different
I
accent.
kind of just wanted to like put it in and then just let it come out as like Andy Alligator's water park or something. That's our website.
That's it.
our
We're
website.
calling it Andy
New
Alligator.
YouTube?
We're calling it Andy Alligator's Water Park. We advertise it with like billboards as a water park. You go to the website, it's not at all.
It's a streaming site.
It's just a YouTube knockoff.
It's still a wet and wild time.
I mean, yeah, we promise you that.
I'll promise, yeah.
We need to have like we need to have investments. Our ideas are too good to
Dude,
pass
we gotta
up.
run a business
Entrepreneur.
for your twos and
Entrepreneurship.
Andy Alligator's Water Park.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. What's the abbreviation of that? Andy's Alligators Water Park.
Yeah.
AAW.
The AA.
Or AAWP.
Yeah.
AWP.
'Cause
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
water park is two
we
words.
call each recording an AA meeting.
It's just Andy Alligator
No, Alcoholics
meetings.
Anonymous.
No. But okay, in our Andy Alligator meetings, we have to bring like a live alligator and try to survive while the
Yes, that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
We bring in a new, incredibly dangerous animal every week and have a conversation about the latest releases and news.
I'd just like try to wrestle it in the background. Good.
You would die.
There's just one time where
Hey, yo,
we,
next
we
week-
just hear you being like mauled to death,
You're-
and then it's the last one you're ever on.
you guys, yeah.
he had to leave the project for personal reasons. Sorry guys.
Bison runs into your computer.
His
That's it.
his family got sick, so he had to leave forever.
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, he had to flee the country. He was a wanted
Flee
man.
the world.
Flee the world.
60 government warrants.
Yeah, he fled his body. He fled his heartbeat. His heart is not beating anymore because you know it generates like infrared, you know, like or something, and he just had to escape.
He's currently
Yeah.
a spirit on
Yeah,
Jupiter.
he's on Jupiter. You just have to go look for him.
He's
like,
not-
Through this,
He's
I've
right there, bro. You can see him.
I've been able to replicate my limbs to make tentacles, and am now the imposter on every Among Us game.
He's somehow made reality
yeah,
his, and now he's
that's
just
your
imposter in every
cool
game.
haunting is that you just RNG manipulate and you're imposter every
Hell
time.
yeah, dude! I'll take that.
What a cool haunting.
Are we allowed to talk about Among Us? I don't want this to get like stale and old.
mean,
if we
I don't
discuss
Do
it.
we
I
think
care.
it'll be a quickly aging game?
Everyone says that about every game. Like, no,
I
it'll
feel
stay,
like
and
it's
then it
already
doesn't.
in its decline.
But I
right
like
now.
Among Us.
I thought Fortnite was gonna be a fad, and that's still going.
It's way,
Yeah,
way.
It's definitely less, but it's still it's actively updating.
I mean, for what Among Us is, I find it really fun. It's like playing
Among Us
Mafia, but like an actual
is a
game.
great game because it feels timeless because it's cheap, it's multi-platform, everyone can play. It's a social deduction game, so you don't have to be like some elite reaction speed gamer. It's all
Right?
about
Yeah.
like,
It's
like social abilities and intellect.
like if you're a crewmate. Yeah, if
it
you're
can
a
be
crewmate,
played by
it's like-
anyone.
Anyone can pick it up, and skill is not based on input speed. It's based on strategy and your ability to figure out the people you play with, which I think makes it a really good game.
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know about that. I had to 360 no scope someone in Among Us.
You pulled out
Yeah,
a whole sniper rifle in
exactly.
the middle of Among Us.
Yeah, when you hit the kill button on this new difficulty, you have to beat Dark Souls 2 with a keyboard and mouse.
Donkey Kong Bond goes to
Yes.
Dark Souls 2. God, I forgot Donkey Kong bongos existed for a second. What a pitiful day for getting the Donkey Kong
This is
bongos.
That's a
amnesia.
sin right there.
This is dementia.
My friend actually has like a pair of Donkey Kong bongos. They're just on his shelf. He never touches them. He
Domo
has them.
forgets what Donkey Kong bongos are, leaves Earth. It's not worth being here anymore.
Instructions unclear, left the atmosphere.
I don't. Currently falling down from the stratosphere. I feel like out of all like the spheres, like levels to like space, I feel like stratosphere is just the coolest sounding one.
Stratosphere?
Yeah, but who wants to go to the
Well,
troposphere?
honestly, like,
Ew.
all right, what is the agreed upon definitive tier list for levels of the atmosphere?
I mean, I
stratosphere
think
is just a cool name.
Stratosphere starts with an S, so I think it's gotta be
It's
an
it's S.
It's got to be an S.
Ah, yeah. See, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. I don't know. Troposphere is like a D. Sounds like tropical, and I live in Florida, and I don't like.
Don't like that one bit.
Don't like that one bit. Hear the word tropical, and I go into a frenzy.
You go into anaphylactic shock from the humidity just hearing the word.
Oh, frenzy! Speaking of frenzy, Monster Hunter
Yo.
Rise. That's a thing. I brought up frenzy because frenzy was like a thing in other Monster
It'd be
Hunter
cool.
games, and I thought about
Looks
it.
good.
But I saw it. So yeah, there was more gameplay of it because I brought up earlier like the Japanese game show.
I might
It looks
actually
really good.
This might be the first Monster Hunter game I'm exposed to because I played the demo for Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate on the 3DS, but that's all the exposure I've gotten to it.
I played a little bit of Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, and I played a ton of World. So I think I'll probably get this one.
World is really
Okay,
fun.
It's also I hate it, but I also love it.
I looked up the
That's-
tier list for the atmosphere like you guys were asking.
Yeah.
Here you go. It's put into chat. Yeah.
There we
it's
go. Well, that's just the level. All right. So why is Exosphere? That doesn't even have any air in it.
Yeah, why is
That
Exosphere
sucks. It does have
Stupid idiot
satellites. though.
Exosphere,
It's
get
a
outta here.
Cool computer.
Put it down in
The
F. bro.
thermosphere has the aurora borealis. That's got to be worth
That's
something.
kind of cool. I mean,
Mesosphere is cool because it has meteors and stuff.
okay, but like, what about the hot air balloons?
I think meteors
though?
are pretty cool.
Hot air balloon. Well, okay. So the radiosphere is part of the stratosphere. This is stupid.
I like
Some-
that idea. Oh wait, but back on Monster because you were talking about how you hate it.
I have so
Monster
many
Hunter's a
problems with
series-
it, but I also really like it. It's so hard to explain.
Monster Hunter, I think, kind of prides itself on like just being
on,
like,
on being
counterintuitive.
actively anti-player, yeah.
Because like, I mean, this goes into, at least gameplay wise, it kind of shares something with Dark Souls where there's a
Yeah, I feel like it's like a optionally multiplayer Shadow of the Colossus.
I mean, I
is
think
it-
multiplayer is the best way to play.
Is
You
it
can play single
purposefully
player.
clunky, or is it just enabled to be
Like,
clunky?
it's-
like
I think it's purposely clunky because
Right, yeah,
it
like
emulates
Shadow of
sense
the Colossus. Whenever you were playing, it wanted you to like flail around whenever the Colossi moved to
that's
make you
true.
feel
And
insignificant.
Shadow of the Colossus is really clunky, and yet it's still my like second or third favorite game of all time. And I don't. But I can get over that, but I think it's harder to get over for Monster Hunter because it's such an inherent part of the gameplay, and it's pervasive through the entire nature of the game.
I think clunkiness also can depend on weapon choice, because if you're playing something like Longsword, you're schmoovin', like you're just going. And I main Greatsword, and
Wait,
you were very slow and
Longsword, you
clunky,
mean
but I think
you mean
just to emulate the
anime
weight of the weapon.
protagonist level?
Yeah, I call it Weed Sword because it makes the game absolutely.
Yeah, it makes the game
mode,
super
and you do all
easy.
these
It's
anime
not.
moves.
It just loses any difficulty, and it does way too high DPS for how it's.
There's
difficult.
there's this move called like, so to give an example. So the strongest weapon off numbers is the Greatsword. Like off numbers, like if you do one attack, the highest numbers will come from the
Right.
Greatsword.
Mhm.
Right? And like I'd say like a fully charged True Slash, like without any other skills, I'd say is maybe like 400, 500 damage if you hit it on like a weak part. It's a pretty good damage, right?
But it's got a low DPS still.
Yeah. No. But the thing is, it does super high damage, but you have to go through like a whole
Oh,
thing
yeah.
of actually getting to hit it, and you're probably gonna miss it. Like getting the true charge slash is really hard to hit. You were not gonna hit it at least.
Watching
70% of the time.
despair as your
But for the longsword-
blade just sinks into the dirt.
Yeah,
So,
honestly,
the
I
dirt-
have never like
Yeah.
playing Greatsword is such an emotional roller coaster because you're either filled with like exuberant excitement and like fantastical whimsy or just crushing disappointment, and you want to shut off the game every time you miss.
Yeah, that's
This is why I
the
play
whole
Switch
game.
Axe.
But the reason I brought
Switch
Switch Axe is a good weapon. But the reason I brought up the two-sword slash is because I want to show that it does a ton of damage, but you have to lead up to it, and it's really hard to actually pull off. So it's
Right,
very
yeah,
risk of
yeah.
reward. On longsword, there's a move called the Helmbreaker that does like 10 or like not 10 hits, but like 7 hits. All that can do up to like 100 damage, and
Should I
there's
be
like
taking
almost
notes,
no
Mr.
drawback.
Domo?
You absolutely should be taking notes.
Yeah, write it
This
down.
will be on the test.
You longsword has like a demon
Oh,
meter.
the edgy meter,
It's either
yo!
the anime meter. Same thing with dual blades, but I feel like dual blades is a little bit more respectable because you
I'm
can
feeling
do
like
sets with it.
picking up the bow.
Bow's
The
fun.
bow was super meta for a long time.
It was meta back before Iceborne, which is the big DLC that
Is it
came
just
out.
like
That was the meta.
so
with the bow.
vanilla it hurts or something?
Well, no, it just had
No,
it
it's
had
fun.
exuberant DPS, like ridiculous damage, and it's not
So,
it's
how-
okay now. It's not as great as it used to be.
All weapons are
All
viable.
weapons are
It's
viable,
just that
except
some are better.
some that
Our
aren't.
Lord and Savior, the sword and shield.
I mean,
Some weapons are more serviceable than others. I'll just say that.
oh yeah, for sure. Like heavy bowgun breaks.
Yeah.
The game.
Oh, you mean machine gun?
Yeah, the machine gun.
Yeah. See, I'm fun because I play like a D tier weapon. Great sword is D tier just because of how much you can miss and how
Mhm.
long it is. Like how like
The
long
room
it
for
is.
error in Greatsword
If it-
is just huge.
It's just huge. But for me, it's the excitement of hitting like a really big slash and the whole screen shakes because it's a big slash and there's like so much.
I remember the
feeling.
week I spent trying to main Lance and just not liking it at all.
Lances, you
You
gotta
gotta
have
have
patience. with Lance.
patience for Lance, and doing any damage with Lance is really hard.
Unless you're running like a
Yeah.
meta build. I think one thing that Monster Hunter does really well above all other games is that it has a really good sense of weight. If you're using a heavy weapon, you're gonna feel like it's heavy. That's why I was saying the intentional clunkiness of Greatsword is that you feel
Right, yeah,
like
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
heavy
So
weapon.
like, you can feel
Ye-
that impact, but at the same time, you gotta feel that time ticking off while you're getting ready.
Yeah.
It's not like your Cloud, you know, with a huge Buster Sword and whip it around like a stick. This is a large sword that's almost your size. So same thing with like Hammer. So whenever you do big hits, this game has like this really satisfying effect where the screen almost like pauses. There's like a really loud noise. It's like really nice. And you only get that on like heavy weapons because it's supposed to be like
Yeah.
represented like a heavy
Speaking
hit.
of Cloud, though, have you guys played the Final Fantasy VII remake?
I just played the demo. I didn't
I
really
want
like
to,
it.
but I haven't. I played the demo.
You are so
I like
right
the
whenever
demo.
you
I thought it
like
was fun.
tell him he's swinging it around like a stick, because one of his he has two stances in that game, and his Punisher stance, you can press the square button just once and that'll do 3 hits, you know? Like you go whoa whoa whoa.
I forget if it's a limit break or whatever, but he has that move in Smash as side B where he does like the he
Oh,
makes
yeah,
the
that's a limit
kanji
break.
out of
Yeah.
sword slashes. And there is no like weight in those slashes. Like he just like he's paid,
It might
he's
as well be
paid.
made of styrofoam, but
Yeah.
when
like,
you
he
get
just
hit by it,
whipping
you
around.
know
Are you
it's
talking
not.
about like are you talking about in Smash or in the remake?
It seems like
in the
both. I've
remake-
seen some of the remake where he just
In
kind
the
of like
remake,
makes
it
the
has some
slashes.
of the weight because
really
you
easily.
can he kind of slows down in the middle of it, so it feels like it's dragging across, but it doesn't really have it doesn't do much better than Smash Bros.
Yeah, I mean like that's not like a deal breaker for me, but like when a series does that, I really like it because it makes it feel. It makes it feel like you're
Yeah,
doing
like
something. There's an
I mean,
impact.
games are the most immersive form of media that you can consume. So whenever you get immersion right in a video game, you're doing something right, you know.
Yeah, I feel like RPGs would have a hard time with that because of just the nature.
I find
of
that
an RPG.
RPGs usually just like are
big-
pretty good at sucking you into a story, and if they get you to like the characters that are in it, then that's whenever they have you netted.
Yeah, it's not immersive. It's more of this is a good story. Like this is a good product,
Yeah.
but it's not like immersive where you feel like you're
Example,
in.
Xenoblade Chronicles. Like, I'm not really immersed whenever I play that game, but I really love the characters and the story going on.
Yeah, I mean like it's my favorite game, so I can comment on that too. Like I don't feel like I'm in the world, but I love the world, like the characters in the story. I just don't like feel like I'm in it, like I would be compared to like something like
Or Hollow
Spider-Man
Knight,
PS4.
for me at least.
I haven't I haven't played Hollow
Yeah,
Knight.
I
I
mean,
kind of want to. I don't play many
yeah.
Metroidvanias. Speaking of that, when's the next Metroid game, Nintendo? Haha.
Haha.
The only Metroid game I played was the 2 remake
I have-
on 3DS.
I would like some
I have
details
played
on Pikmin.
zero Metroid games.
I mean, there's the. It's a fun series. Also, what you said earlier about Pikmin, there is Pikmin 3
Honestly,
Deluxe.
Yo.
just
The same
please,
game again.
please give me Pikmin 4.
Though, for your little
want it so
monkey
bad.
brain that
I
likes
like it.
Pikmin, they did say like there's like new story content. So you were
Oh,
somewhat
no,
fed.
It's not about the story. It's about the game. It's about getting new areas and enemies and Pikmin types and doing it all again.
Well, eat the same game.
Oh, well, yeah.
Money to
Because
the
I'm
corporation.
gonna
Play
buy
it
it.
again, lazy.
Okay.
Play it again, consumer.
It's
Play the same
honestly, it's
game
like
again.
it's like this stern teacher that like, oh, you want a new Pikmin game? Here, have the same Pikmin game. I know you're gonna buy
I mean,
it.
I can't
idiot.
really-
It's like a
They got
school
you by
bully.
the childhoods, boy.
They got me by the collar.
I mean, I can't really go against that because I did buy like Xenoblade Definitive
and
Edition, but I feel like that has a lot more like changes.
It's generally like a truth that I like a game a lot if I own it multiple times. Like I've purchased Minecraft 4 times, that's not on purpose. Like I own Shadow of War on
How do
Steam
you
and PS4, I
accidentally
have
buy
No Man's Sky
Minecraft 4
twice.
times?
I've accidentally purchased Ape Out twice and accidentally purchased Enter the Gungeon 3 times.
Pryce has these moments where he just really wants to buy something.
It's
and
not
he'll
about
buy-
wanting to
he'll
buy something, it's
if
about
he
seeing
forgets it
something and
exists.
thinking, ooh, you know what? I kind of want to play this right now.
I own Sonic Adventure 2 on like 4 separate, like different consoles and on PC. But
Sure.
that's on purpose, bro. I don't know how you do it on accident.
I mean, I'm pretty good with like buying the same game. The only time I've bought the same game so far is Monster Hunter World because I played the first one on PC. And the first one, like my first copy was PC, and then I played it on PS4.
I
by
own
accident.
my favorite game twice on the same platform, and that wasn't on purpose.
What's your
either.
favorite game?
The Stanley Parable.
Oh yeah. I remember you saying that.
Is the big version out
No,
yet?
it's coming out next month, or at least it's supposed
I
to.
really wanted to play the Stanley Parable. It looks funny.
Sorry, mate.
It's excellent. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I've been wanting to, but they released like this deluxe edition, so I don't want to buy
get
it.
the
and
deluxe
then have to buy
edition.
ano-
I think it's gonna be $30 for a ton of new content.
But there's been like no news on it.
Well, it's not exactly a big release.
Yeah, but you thought there'd be some update because it's been like a year or two
It's
now,
coming out
hasn't
next
it?
month.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, it is? Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I knew nothing about
was
that.
in the
Like,
trailer
I
that
thought there
they-
was some
they-
kind of announcement.
The trailer came out either this summer or just before it, and they put out a date.
think I'm
I know
stupid.
you are stupid.
But I
Domo.
want to get it because I. Thank you. At least it reassures me. But I'd say me and Pryce have like a similar sense of what we like in humor, and he really likes that game, so I think I'll probably like it. It's like a very like meta.
Right, yeah. You have
I
a
think
you have a
meta
narrator.
about the narrative and the humor and the Stanley Parable Pryce swear like
Yeah,
hours.
there's like a
And
narrator that commentates over everything, and I mean like
It's
literally
about-
everything.
To me, I sort of interpret it as like this mutual resentment between the player and the narrator, and it's this very begrudging cooperation.
The narrator sounds funny though. He sounds like he sounds like he plays that trope of like the really like formal rich guy who doesn't
Well,
like
sure.
the comedy.
I mean, like, but he basically condescends to you the entire time,
Right, yeah.
and you just but the whole idea is that he doesn't actually have any control over your action. He's
He's just commentating
suggests.
you, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a little bit more.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I like the humor. meta breaking stuff is hard for me because I feel like it has to be done in a certain way for it to be good. If you have a joke series, I think that's fine. But if you have like a serious game, I think meta breaking is very bad.
I think if you like the humor in the Stanley Parable Deluxe Edition trailer, you'll like the game.
I did like the humor, but that's something. I think it works on Stanley Parable because it's
Yeah,
made as
like breaking
as a
the
humor
fourth
game.
wall, you have to be prepared that you cannot have your audience take the story
To break
seriously.
the fourth
now.
wall, you have to be
consequences of it.
prepared to be clever
Right.
at it. Because it's really easy to be lazy and make it just
Yeah, say like
Well-
you were the virus the whole
Well-
time. Like you gotta make
That's
something
stupid.
creative. Yeah.
No, like there's this whole one of the endings. It's my favorite ending in the Stanley Parable. Just ruthlessly mocks the player, and this like it's subtle and it is sort of phrased as mocking the protagonist of the game, but it's abhorrently
Stanley.
obvious to the player that this is making fun of me in real life for playing this game and pursuing this ending.
Yeah, I feel that.
No, what I mean by fourth wall breaking, and at least what I was talking about, is more in the sense of you have like a serious game, right? And you for a wall break, that like completely destroys the canon
Yeah.
of like what's happening. If you, something like Stanley Parable, it's a joke, it's a funny haha game. You're not caring about the canon and what's happening.
Like I said,
So
whenever
can do
you
that. It's
whenever
ama-
you break the fourth wall, you have to be prepared for like the audience to not take your story seriously because
Yeah, like there's
Right.
consequences to doing that. In a serious story, at least, unless like I can't think of a specific example, but it's happened before where a fourth wall break, and then you're thinking like, what does that mean for the story then?
Yeah.
Because
It creates a plot
I don't
hole
like
if
the whole
it's otherwise serious. But the Stanley Parable isn't.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think
Yeah.
it works. And I watched a trailer, and I thought it was
There's
really
this
funny.
ending in the Stanley Parable where there's the narrator basically talks to you about how he's making his own video game, and he opens a door in the world.
Oh, the baby
It's
game!
a baby game where you have to hit it, where a PNG of a baby approaches a fire, and you have to hit a button and it makes a loud noise. You have to do that for literally 4 hours.
and then what happens?
And
To
you
finish
can't
it?
macro it, and then it opens a door, and you go to a button with the number 8 on it. And the
Oh, is it
8,
like the
it's
eighth
the
ending?
8 ending, and it just says the word 8 when you press it, and that's the 8 ending. It's one of the hardest to get because you're not allowed to macro it. Okay, it has some software that prevents you from cheating, so you have to sit there at your computer and click this baby button for 4 hours and tolerate
That's
it.
insane.
It might not be 4 hours. That might be hyperbolic in my mind.
That's
I've never
ab-
finished it. That might be longer than it needs to be.
But that's just
it's
so-
funny. And if you
It's-
let
that's
the
just
baby
so
die
funny.
even once, he takes you on this alternate route where he makes you play Minecraft instead.
like
Yeah.
is it in the game?
Oh,
It's
that's
super
great.
for anyone listening. There's a free demo experience for the Stanley Parable on Steam that sort of gets you sort of into what it's going to be like, and I recommend anyone play it.
speaking
great.
of the mini fridge thief, Tyler, he's in chat right now, and he just said, "What about Psycho Mantis and the memory card read?"
Psychomantics is great. That's
Yeah, so like,
that was really clever, and it'll like can't you only beat him if you have it plugged into the second controller port or something like that?
I have no idea about that, but I know that he does read your memory card, and yeah, that is that is a serious story, but
Yeah, it's super
I
cool.
feel like Metal Gear Solid in and of itself just like doesn't take itself too seriously, so you can have room for wacky
No.
stuff like Psycho Mantis.
I think there's room as long as it's not like cheeky fourth wall. Like I think an otherwise serious game with a cool fourth wall break would be like the Scarecrow encounter and the
Yeah,
Arkham
yeah,
series.
like
Oh yeah, where you're like your
like
game
you,
glitches out.
you'll
and stuff?
die, and then if you hit like
Well, the thing
continue,
is-
it's not you continuing from the last
Yeah, it
checkpoint.
says
it's
that you
rising
like,
from the
corrupted
dead. You
your
know.
file.
But I think in that sense, it's kind of cool because it doesn't it's a fourth wall break, but not in the technical sense
Yeah.
of the story. Like it can be explained that he I forgot exactly what happened because I haven't played the game. I've been told about it. But that basically like you're in like
Yeah.
a hallucination. So it explains it in the story and doesn't break the canon, but it's still a
Yeah,
fourth wall break,
It's very clever.
which I think
yeah.
that's kind of cool. Yeah, because again, it doesn't break any canon, but it's still a fourth wall break. And what you said about Metal Gear and not taking itself seriously, I haven't played a single game, but I've seen
Oh
all
yeah,
of Raiden.
right. Metal
Does
Gear
it-
Rising is like it's the epitome of okay, we're just gonna throw stuff at a wall and like we're gonna see how extreme we can get with this. Like
We're gonna see how different
Honestly,
we can be from
right,
Gear
yeah,
1.
you can like this game has you slowing down time and just cutting up people like using the analog sticks on your controller just because you want to cut up people. Like one slash is gonna work,
Yeah.
but you can cut them up into millions of little pieces if you want to.
I think if I saw this one scene where there's this giant robot and there was Raiden and he stops it with like his
Yeah.
like, his one sword.
It's pretty whack.
Also, all of what is his name, Senator
Oh,
Armstrong?
I only recognize him as like the
President?
like Sonic guy. Yeah, nanobots.
Nanobots guy.
Nanobots guy.
He goes on this whole rant about like American politics while he's just fighting like a cyborg ninja.
Didn't, before they made MGS, didn't they make some America, like, some uber patriotic American thing where you pilot mechs and you're like Ronald Reagan or something?
Who's they?
I forget what that game is called. It
Oh,
was...
I think. Oh, are you talking about the one that was on Jello Apocalypse?
yeah.
'Cause I feel like I've seen that.
I can't remember what that game was called.
I don't
feel
know
like
the
that
name.
Was by at least some similar people, not necessarily the same studio.
I might have. I didn't watch the whole video for that, so I can't really comment on it.
Oh, that game. It just clicked with me. Yeah, the one that like Donkey played.
Yeah,
The Richard.
the Richard.
So, we're closing in on
47 moments?
47 minutes. what I
47
think is like-
moments.
Yeah,
That's
moments.
kind of what it is. It's 47 precious moments.
Heck yeah, dude. Gotta savor all that.
Yeah. But I think.
I think we're all right.
We're all
We
good?
can about start wrapping it up.
Yeah, because we've been talking for a
All
bit.
right.
This is
Was
our
this
usual
good?
I
schedule.
completely
Was it
botched
all
the-
good or
I
entertaining?
completely botched the plug last episode, so if anyone wants to plug, go for it.
Dominic,
Do it, Dominic.
Do it.
Plug,
Dominic, do it.
what
our
am I
plug
plugging?
Twitter or YouTube.
Plug everything. Plug the Twitter.
Subscribe to my Patreon.
And then plug the
Oh, yeah.
Discord.
So here's what we got.
And then I'll do everything.
We got a Discord server. We got a Twitter. We got a YouTube. That's where you're watching this.
Say their names and
We
where
got
to
a
find them.
SoundCloud.
Oh yeah, we drop fire beats. All right, so our YouTube, if you're watching this, is just Cheer Neutrals, and I'm guessing we'll have our
More
Discord
than
link.
likely in the
should be.
description, yeah.
Probably maybe.
It is. It's in the channel
Question
about
mark?
section.
For Twitter, I forget our Twitter handle, so we'll probably have
Dominic,
that link
it's
too.
unprofessional.
I
Subscribe
you
to
put
the
this all- you
Patreon
put
that
this
I'm
on the
Say it,
spot.
put it
funneling
in
money
chat.
to.
Tyler, put it in
Um,
chat. We'll cut this up. We'll cut all this out. Tyler, put it in chat.
You
Quickly,
held me at
quickly
gunpoint
now.
randomly and said to tell about
And
our links.
remember that this video is sponsored
Dominic,
by
look at the
Raid
chat.
Shadow
There it is. It's
Legends.
right there.
Our Twitter tag is
At-
neutrals
Yeah,
true.
at neutral's true.
At neutral. Yeah,
This is
that,
a great
that one.
plug.
That one.
I think this is the best
All
in the
lowercase.
series.
What a good episode.
I'm
Was
too
this at all
good at everything.
professional or interesting?
I swear.
We kind of whipped this up with very little planning. This was one afternoon.
Yeah,
I thought it.
I took like at
I thought it was a
most
good
10
episode.
minutes to get ready for this.
I thought it was a good episode. We kind of went off the
I
cuff,
like
which
it.
I liked.
Because our only topic was
I'm
Zelda
gonna
question.
plug one more time. If you guys liked us going off topic, comment and subscribe.
Comment off topic if you got to this point.
Yeah.
I hate you guys. Anyway, I think it's time for us to wrap
Alright.
up this.
Until
talk.
next time.
So thank everyone, for tuning in.
Bye-bye.
Till next time.
Goodbye.